Hey guys, this is Woodshop Junkies, and today I'm making a retractable arm that can be used as a mounting in a number of applications. In this case I'm going to use it for articulated camera mount, but the design should be adaptable for things like a retractable light or a overhead power cord. Well, the idea is to not have the arm fixed to a specific point in my shop, but instead be able to move around. To give it that mobility, I'm going to mount it to my self-locking French cleat base that I made a couple of videos ago. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to shoot from the hip on this project because I was unable to follow my normal design procedure due to some computer issues. Instead, all I have is this very rough, freehand drawn diagram, which is not scaled and it doesn't include dimensions. I only drew it up so I have a visual idea of what I'm working towards. Now there are other more compact configurations I could have gone with, like a crisscross scissor type arm, but I decided to use a mechanism similar to my fold down roof shelf. This will give me a range of adjustability without changing the angle of whatever is mounted using the arm. Each stage of my arm is going to consist out of two blocks which are going to be connected using two links like this. This will allow for such a movement. Now in theory I can add as many stages as I want to increase range, but to retain some stability I'm going to limit my build to only two. The first stage will be connected to the mounting or the French cleat, self-locking French cleat bracket, while the second stage will be connected to the camera mount or whatever mount I'm going to be using in the future, and then at each connection point an additional set of pivots will be added as well. So this is pretty much the idea. I cut up a whole bunch of these little pieces of copper pipe to add to all the pivot points, and the purpose is to act as bushings, but also to set the spacing between the two halves. When I complete the assembly by adding bolts over here, it won't pinch the links and they will be able to still move freely. Before I do the final assembly, however, I still need to add the hinges. This hinge is going to be installed between the two stages like that, giving me the ability to change their angle. At the primary mounting, or where the camera is going to mount, I'm going to install slightly different hinges, but still following pretty much the same basic concept. Before I add those hinges, however, for my design to work the way I had intended, I need the ability to lock this hinge in whatever position it is placed in. So first I'm going to try and add a mechanism that's going to allow me to do that. Right, so that's pretty much the hinge with the locking mechanism. Before I assemble everything, I'm going to make the other hinges with similar mechanisms to lock them as well. Right, so that's all the hinges assembled now, and as I said, the mechanism is very similar to the first one I made. They are just a little bit adapted to where they are going to be mounted and what their function is going to be. But now I am pretty much ready to start assembling. I'm just quickly going to sand everything down and soften up some of the edges. I would have preferred to use glue and nails to make this assembly, but unfortunately due to the lockdown I couldn't get my hands on any nails. So I'm going to glue and bolt the assembly together and hopefully the glue holds up. Right, and that's pretty much the arm. The next step is to get it fixed to the wall, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm going to use my self-locking French cleat I designed and built a couple of videos ago. The only changes I've made since then was adding handles to engage and disengage a bit easier. Right, now I'm almost ready to start using this as a camera rig, but I still need the ability to lock these arms. Okay, so for my camera mount, I simply deconstructed an old tripod and I'm simply going to insert this in here and then use a bolt to lock it in place. So the mechanism seems to work, but I will admit I'm a bit disappointed in its lack of stability. It should work just fine for lighter things, but it's definitely not going to hold the weight of my DSLR. It seems as though the bulk of the play is originating from the first stage, but most notably the primary fixing point. So I'm going to have to call this version 1 and head back to the drawing board to beef up my design. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave a comment down below. So the project did not go as planned. Though I'm currently using it to record this, as I mentioned earlier, it is not as stable as I want it to be. Luckily, the difficult part, the mechanism seems to work just fine, so it shouldn't be too difficult to beef it up and make the design more robust. I already have a few ideas and I'm going to jump on it right away, so hopefully I can have the update for you guys in a few days. If you aren't subscribed yet and you want to see that, remember to do that now. But that is it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, cheers.